Okay, I'm just really quickly going to run through the solutions to these part A's. So if you want to have your own out in front of you in the booklet, and you can correct it as you go. So starting on page 26, very quickly, the first one, in which stage is the total population at its lowest? So it's at its lowest here in stage 1 or high stationary. In name X, stage 2, the demographic transition model, and name an example of one country. Now it should be easy enough because this is late expanding, so therefore this is early expanding. Okay, so early expanding, 4 marks. Name an example of a country in this stage. Country in that stage then would be Mali, Nigeria, or Nepal. Number 3, name Y, stage 5. Okay, so this is the declining or the senile, or sometimes it's referred to as the old age stage. So any of those will get you 2 marks. And one country, Japan, Germany, Italy would be the countries in stage 5. Okay, explain briefly one problem facing countries in stage 5 of the demographic transition model. So a problem here, all right. Countries in stage 5 have a declining population, so you can see up there that there's natural decrease because the birth rate has fallen below the death rate. A high proportion of the population is made up of elderly dependents, so they're referred to as dependents, and that's what I'm going to be doing in today's class as well. They're dependent because they're no longer working, they're retired, so therefore they're dependent on the state for an income. The main problem with this is that there's fewer younger generations coming through, so the birth rate has fallen. Therefore, there will be a shortage of workers. Should probably add in the future. Okay, this could have negative impacts on economic development. So if you don't have enough workers, this is going to slow down your economy, and this is when in the video referred to Japan having to import workers or encourage immigration. All right, so definitely 2 SRPs there. Then you have to explain briefly what is meant by natural increase. So natural increase is population growth because the birth rate is higher than the death rate. It does not take account of population increase through immigration. Okay, it occurs, and at this point here, to get a second SRP, I've used the information in the diagram. So natural increase is occurring in stages 2 and 3 of the demographic transition model. It's also occurring in stage 4, but at a slower rate, so you could add that as well. And then I've named a country where natural increase is happening, which is Mali. All right, and you'll see the marking scheme here, so you can correct that according to the marking scheme. If you haven't got it correct, write down the correct answers into your own booklet, so you have it, I suppose. Simple as that. Okay, next one here then. Birth, death and marriage rates per 1,000 population. So what was the marriage rate per 1,000 population in 1989? So we need to go to, can I draw on this? Where's my pen? Let's see. No. Anyway, here we go. There's 1989, and we're going to the marriage rate, which is blue, and it's on the line that's 5. So make sure that you're giving your answer as 5 per 1,000 population, which also works out at 0.5%. I wouldn't advise that you get into that, it's too complicated. When did the death rate first drop below 10,000? So the death rate is the green line, and you'll see here it first dropped below 10,000 around about this area here. So if you said anywhere from 1979 and 1980, 1981, you would have got the marks. The only time they wouldn't have given you the marks was if you went beyond 1983. 3. What was the general trend in the birth rate between 1983 and 1995? So this trend here. So it basically says any term that indicates a decrease. So if you said it's declining, it's dropping, it's decreasing, then you would have gotten the marks. Then finally, briefly explain the term natural increase, and again, that's answered for you in the previous question. Right, is there no grades on that? No. Okay, so that was a 20-mark question, so that would have been 5, 5, 5, and 5. Jeez, that was very easy. Okay, still on page 27. What is the Netherlands birth rate for 2007? So do we know where the Netherlands is? It's this country here. It's red. You go up and see red corresponds with 11 per 1,000. Okay. Switzerland's birth rate for 2007. So Switzerland is in here in pink. Pink indicates 10 per thousand. 3, identify one social factor that influences birth rate. So I have that over here. Social factor is the status of women in society. So again, it's social, it's not economic. In developed economies, girls have access to education and there are equal opportunities, meaning that women will stay in education longer and they may choose to pursue a career. As a result, they have families later in life, have less children, lowers the birth rate. Define the term mortality rate. So this is the death rate. So you should have got that. Oh, it has it there. Death rate per thousand of population. Again, that looks like it was a 5, 5 and 5, and this being 3 and 2 marks for your SRPs. All right. What was the world's total population in 2000? So up here, follow the line across, it was 6 and 6 billion. Approximately what will it be in 2050? Up here we go, and all the way across, and it's above 9, so 9.5 billion. I think if you had anywhere from about 9 to 10, you may have got it. Describe the differing trends shown for the more developed and the less developed countries. A, up to the present day, and B, into the future. So I started with the more developed countries first, and oh, feck. Sorry, ooh, that should have been A and B. I don't know why. This was definitely A and B over the weekend. Let me change this because it's gonna A, B. Don't be annoying me now. Right, grand. So A, the trend up to the present day has been slow growth up to 2000. So slow growth at this point here. And the population then begins to level off and shows no growth. So up to the present day here, levels off, no growth. Then B, the trend into the future, is a very gradual decline. Okay, then you had to do it for the less developed countries. So the trend up to the present day has been slow growth up to the 1950s. This was then followed by very rapid growth. If we go up here, okay, this could be described as a population explosion. Then into the future, rapid growth up to 2060, which takes us up to around about here, okay, and then after that it still grows, but it grows at a much slower pace. So the trend in the future shows rapid growth to 2060. After this, population continues to grow, but at a much slower rate. So let's change that to B, because that's very annoying. Right. So let's, oh no, wait, this lad here. I think, here are the answers. So one stage, if you where birth and death rates are equal. So you'll see here, in stage 1, they're practically equal. In stage 4, they're practically equal. This is a bit of a wonky demographic transition model, but you're not to worry. What year was this? It goes back in 2008. So either stage 1 or stage 4 would have got you the marks. And which stage is natural increase at its highest? I went for stage 2, but look, I think you would have got the marks if you said stage 3 as well. Fill in the chart. So these are the marks in the correct order. Natural population increase is low in stage 1. It rises rapidly in stage 2 as the birth rate rises and the death rate falls. By stage 4, natural increase slows down because the birth and death rate are almost equal. Right, Sinead, if you're not sure about any of those, get in touch.